The compact luxury sports sedan class is one of the most important vehicle segments for a luxury automaker to have. Now, the Lexus IS was introduced in the 2001 model year for North America, and it never really could compete with the BMW 3 Series in terms of sales, but that all really changed in the second generation IS when it was redesigned in 2006. Now, the third generation came out in the 2014 model year. Now, following last year's thorough redesign, the 2015 Lexus IS250 essentially stands pretty much the same. I've applauded the current IS's much improved interior with newfound rear legroom, and its head-turning style really doesn't hurt. But let's go ahead and check out this 2015 Lexus IS250 F Sport. Now, as far as styling goes on the vehicle, I like the styling quite a lot on this IS250 F Sport here. I think it's much better looking than the conservative BMW 3 Series. And it also has class to it. I really like the classy look of it. And then I love the spindle grille, which you will find on all of Lexus's vehicles. And it's just very unique looking. You have the LED daytime running lights that look like Nike check marks, and then you have LED headlights too. Now, it is a black exterior with smart key access on the driver, door, and the front passenger door. Power driver seat with power recline and power lumbar. Also comes with a red Nulux interior trim. Now, if you don't know what Nulux is, it's actually a fake leather, but it imitates it very, very well. It almost feels better than the real stuff. Now, stepping on inside of the IS here, it's actually a pretty cramped feeling interior. Now, the design and the whole layout of the interior is very stylish and very high quality looking, but it's not roomy. If you're looking for roominess, you might want to step up to the larger GS. Now, you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start, of course. And since we have the F Sport package, we get these LFA inspired gauges that look really good in my opinion. And I will go more in depth later in the video. Now, you do have a full leather wrap steering wheel with red contrast stitching that matches the seats and the door trim as well. Love the steering wheel design, very sporty. Now, you do have a 6-speed automatic transmission that comes with the IS250. Now, if you go to the larger IS350, you get an 8-speed automatic. You also do have manual shiftability, paddle shifters as well. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera with guidance lines and trajectory. And you also do have rear cross traffic alert. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators, and you also do have blind spot detection. Like I said, you do have LED headlights, low and high beam, LED daytime running lights. Love the front end of the IS. Now, under the hood here, you have a 2.5 liter V6 producing 204 horses at 6,400 RPM and 185 pound-feet of torque at 4,800 RPM. Like I said, this is the base powertrain. You're looking at EPA estimates of 21 in the city and 30 on the highway on premium unleaded fuel. Now, this powertrain is pretty low on power as well as efficiency compared to some of its competitors' powertrains. And it even has worse fuel efficiency than the larger upgraded powertrain, the IS350, which comes with a 3.5 liter V6, and that's mainly due to this engine has to work harder. Now, pricing of the IS starts at 36 grand and can easily move all the way up to 50 grand depending on which engines you choose, and either if you pick rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and which packages you choose as well. Now, competitors of the IS250, you have the BMW 3 Series, Mercedes-Benz C-Class, Infiniti Q50, as well as the Cadillac ATS. All of the vehicles in the luxury sports sedan class, and you also do have the Audi A4. LED tail lamps, dual exhaust tips, rear window defroster, and even on this IS250 you can see you still get dual exhaust tips. As far as styling differences go between the 350 and the 250, there's none at all, besides the badging that says IS350 instead of 250. That's mainly why most people choose the IS250 over the 350. If they made the F-Sport package exclusive to the 350 only, I guarantee more people would probably buy the 350 instead of the 250. Power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, and these buttons do have a high quality feel to them. Nice soft touch materials, mid door panel, upper door panel, armrest. It's a Lexus, of course, here. Chrome door handles too. And let's go ahead and rev it up. The 2015 Lexus IS250 leaves little to be desired in terms of ride comfort, unless you're talking about the F-Sport package, that is. With that package's sport-tuned suspension, the IS rides harshly on rough pavement, and the rear end has a tendency to bounce around. Otherwise, the IS250 is a pleasant daily driver, and its stretched wheelbase relative to earlier IS generation gives it a more substantial feel on the highway. In keeping with Lexus's reputation, wind noise is minimal, though road noise can intrude if the summer tires are specified. On curvy roads, the IS250 steering is unexpectedly communicative and precise. In contrast to previous years, the IS feels more alive through its steering wheel than a BMW 3 Series. Great handling is about more than just steering, however, and the IS250 ultimately lacks the grip and playfulness to compete at this segment's highest levels. That particularly disappointing in the stiffy sprung F-Sport model, where performance is supposedly a top priority. To be fair, the IS250 feels suitably sporty unless you're really pushing it. Now, the best part about the IS is probably the handling. It's very precise, and I can really, feel for where the vehicle is trying to go, and the steering is far from being numb here. I think Lexus has done a great job on the steering, and it's pretty heavy, I have to say. Now, coming into the eco mode, that does change the throttle response quite a bit, and it's all selected by the little dial, like I said earlier in the video. And then this eco light indicator does come on. But I do love the sound of that V6 engine. It just sounds amazing. But I would love to have the larger IS350 just to show you guys. Now, coming up on this roundabout here, I'm gonna see what this baby really can do as far as the handling goes. Oh yeah, that's amazing. I can really feel for where the vehicle is going. It's just so fun to drive. The steering is just amazing on this car. I love the steering. So precise. I think it's honestly just as good as the 3 Series. Now, since we do have the F Sport package, we do have the stiffer suspension here. Now, as far as the ride goes in the IS250 F Sport, it's very firm and it's quite jarring at times depending on what bumps you go over on the road. You can really feel in the back of the car, if you're sitting in the rear, you can feel a lot of road bumps come in through the cabin. And it's not like a traditional Lexus of being a smooth, comfortable highway cruiser. They really tuned this suspension to be very stiff, since we do have the F Sport package. But if you get the regular IS without the F Sport package, it's going to be less jarring in the ride quality. But you won't get the added styling treatments that the F Sport has, and I think the F Sport looks better than the regular IS, and mainly that's due to the grille and the wheels as well. Now, even though we do have the smaller powertrain, I gotta admit I quite like the sound a lot. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of here, it's pretty good. It's a Lexus, of course, it has to be good. You have nice soft touch materials up here, upper door panel, mid door panel, armrest up here. Nice red contrast stitching everywhere too. You have this nice pleather portion too where you might hit your knees. And then also on the center console, the armrest as well. And I love these red seats. Just gives it a very unique flavor inside of this interior here. And there's not many panel gaps inside of this interior. Overall, build quality and materials are excellent. Coming up here, you have an auto-dimming rearview mirror with garage home link, SOS Safety Connect, your interior illumination lighting, sunroof controls. I also do love the black headliner that comes with the F Sport package. Nice and plush, very high quality. Coming down here, you have your heated and ventilated front seats. Then down there you have a USB port and an auxiliary input, 2 USB ports. Decent amount of center console storage. This is the compact luxury sports sedan class, so I'm not really expecting a whole lot of storage. You have your cup holders right here too. Coming right here, you have the mouse controller that controls your main head unit, which I'll get to in just a second. Coming to these controls right here, I love the simplicity of them. And these buttons right here are touch sensitive, and they work very well. This is the good kind of touch sensitive, not the ones you will find in Cadillacs or Fords and Lincolns. You have dual zone automatic climate control, your fan speeds, front window defroster, rear window defroster, and then your different zones too. Very simple. Coming down here, you have your radio, your different media sources, and then your seek and track button, tune and scroll knob, and then your volume and power button. Now, like I said, the main head unit is all controlled by this mouse controller. Once you get used to it, I think it's pretty easy to use, since I've had this car for about 3 weeks now. You have your climate, and then your navigation. Now, the navigation is not that great, in my opinion, because it really just looks like a regular Toyota's. I feel like they could upgrade the map just a little bit. You have your Lexus app suite, you have your Bing search, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Facebook Places, etc., which you can access through your smartphone data connection. Info, you have your fuel consumption, traffic incidents, weather, Lexus Insider. Coming to radio, you have FM, AM, and satellite radio. You also do have a CD player, USB port, iPod integration, Bluetooth, streaming audio, and your auxiliary. And coming to your phone, you can store all your contacts on here. And then setup, you have your general, voice, Bluetooth, audio, traffic, And then you can enter in the destination by voice, or you could do points of interest, web search, or destination assist, which you could talk to a live person, which is pretty cool. You can go to previous destinations. And then when you press on home screen right here, you can configure your home screen. You could change the layout of it and what you would like on it, like your audio, your climate, fuel consumption, whatever you want on it. Pretty neat. Overall, it's a pretty easy to use system. However, I would like to see the screen be a little bit bigger. I think it's just a tad small, but the rendering and the graphics of it are crisp and clear, which is very important. Then you could change the contrast and the brightness of the camera. Coming right there, you also do have your blind spot detection. And then you also do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And with the F-Sport package, as you can see here, you do get these pretty nice looking aluminum pedals. Now coming to the steering wheel design, like I said, I do love the steering wheel design since we have the F-Sport one. You have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, voice recognition, and then this actually moves over your RPM gauge. Pretty neat. There's actually a little motor running inside of it, and then these controls right here control your TFT instrument cluster. And like I said, since we have the F-Sport package, we do get these nice LFA inspired gauges here. Basically, it's going to show you various amounts of vehicle information. You have your exterior temperature readout, your digital speedometer, and then your RPM gauge, and then your fuel gauge, and then your trip odometer. And then you also do have your different driver selectable modes. You have your sport mode and then your eco mode. Basically, that changes the throttle response of the car. If you go into eco, throttle response isn't all that great, but if you go into sport, the throttle response is much better. And then you actually select the different driver selectable modes right here. And then you have a snow mode and then your traction control off buttons right there. And then moving the RPM gauge over, it's going to show you more information, including your compass, and then what radio station you're on, and any messages, and then your average fuel economy. And you have your settings, maintenance system, your language, units, eco, drive info. Pretty neat. Pop-up display and your needle and your rev indicator. Now, as far as seating comfort goes in the IS, I love the seats of the IS. And they just hug you in so well. And these seats do come with the F-Sport package. And there's lots of side bolstering, great thigh support as well. I just love these seats so much. You also do have adjustable headrests, of course. And they just hug you in so well. And they still feel nice and soft and buttery like how a Lexus is. Love these seats. Now, as far as visibility goes inside of the IS, it's pretty good. Decent amount of side glass area. Outward visibility is okay. The A-pillar is not too thick. The rearward visibility is okay as well. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut the IS down. Let's go ahead and check out the rear seats as well as the trunk capacity. Trunk space isn't all that great, but at least the seats do fold down 60-40 split. You also do have your first aid kit back here too. Of course, build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. And you still have chrome interior door handles back here. Now, sitting back here in the IS, it's basically like a coupe, except for you have your own little doors to get inside of here. But the seats themselves are very comfortable, nice and supportive. But the rear seat legroom isn't all that great compared to some of the other cars. Now, compared to the last generation IS, it's much better than how it was, and it's actually suitable for 2 full-size adults now. But That wasn't the case in the previous generation IS, but it's still cramped compared to some of its competitors. They do have a rear center armrest with cup holders. You also do have dual map pockets and rear air vents. And then your little dome lights back here. Alright. Full powered passenger seat with power recline. Your glove box compartment, nice and damp. Alrighty. So the 2015 Lexus IS250 offers daring styling, excellent build quality, and benchmark steering feel, but it trails most rivals in performance and fuel efficiency. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.